Elections in J&K and AJK by Dr. Nazir. Gilani. History of elections in Jammu and Kashmir has made India wiser. India could not for long afford to live on the strength of proxies. Kashmiri voter had to assert himself in all manner to convince India that a disrespect for vote had passed its sell-by date. Elections in AJK, Pakistan-administered Kashmir, are just at hand. Have elections in AJK made the administration in Pakistan any wiser and respectful of the right to vote? Is the Kashmiri voter in AJK in any manner an instrument of change? These are important questions and need an examination. Right to vote and take part in the governance at various levels is a basic human right. Importance of the right to vote is universally defended. However, various societies show different levels of interest in understanding and defending the sanctity of vote. 2 prisoners in UK had moved to the European Court of Human Rights, against the blanket ban on the prisoners' right to vote. Grand Chamber of the European Court of Human Rights, meeting on April 11, 2011, has rejected the referral requests relating to the case of Greens and MTV. The United Kingdom, application Nos. 60,041/08 and 60,054/08, submitted by Mr. Greens and by the government. In its chamber judgment in the case of November 23, 2010, the court held that there had been a violation of Article 3 of Protocol No. 1, right to free elections. The court now gives the United Kingdom government 6 months from April 11, 2011, the date when Greens and MT has become final, to introduce legislative proposals to bring the disputed laws in line with the convention. The government is further required to enact the relevant legislation within any time frame decided by the Committee of Ministers, the executive arm of the Council of Europe, which supervises the execution of the court's judgments. Elections in AJK have their own history. AJK has an assembly of 49 members. The fact that it has 5 women elected directly by the directly elected members, 1 Mashayikh elected directly by the directly elected members, 1 overseas member elected directly by the directly elected members, 1 technocrat also elected directly by the directly elected members makes it a fish market and inducts corruption under the influence from Islamabad. The 12 refugee members elected in the assembly could have been a strong force to influence the behavior of politics in Azad Kashmir and Pakistan in the best interests of the people living in Jammu and Kashmir and Gilgit and Baltistan. Unfortunately, they don't matter any more than their number. This number is used by the government in Islamabad and their operatives of many manner in AJK to control the legislative character in AJK. More so, there is a broad spread of bogus electoral register prepared partly by a few Kashmiris and partly by the agencies from Pakistan. Truckloads of municipal workers and non-Kashmiris are offloaded at various polling booths to cast vote and ensure a pre-planned outcome. The corruption in refugee seats could be explained by one single example, that even Shahid Maqbool Bhatt was defeated in one of his contested elections because he could not overcome the hurdle of bogus electoral register littered by non-Kashmiri voters. His genuine vote failed to stand up to the proxy prepared by the system that at one point frustrated the declarations of provisional governments of October 4 and October 24, 1947. Although the government of AJK under Constitution Act 1974 claims that its role is to provide for the better government and administration of Azad Jammu and Kashmir until such time as the status of Jammu and Kashmir is determined, in accordance with the freely expressed will of the people of the state through the democratic method of free and fair plebiscite under the auspices of the United Nations as envisaged in the UNCIP resolutions adopted from time to time, yet in fact it has sold its soul to Lucifer and continues to violate the right of a person to cast his vote freely. It was result of a local and Muhajir political wrangle and a cheap self-serving move by the local leadership to discredit refugee leadership, in particular KH that they convinced Pakistan and its agencies of the need to propose a constitutional restraint in Article 4(7)(2) of 1974 Act and curtail the freedom of association in AJK. According to this constitutional restraint, no person or political party in Azad Jammu and Kashmir shall be permitted to propagate against or take part in activities prejudicial or detrimental to the ideology of the state's accession to Pakistan. if a system and its paid agencies who were motivated to lash at, remove and arrest the Chief Justice of Pakistan and his brother judges until the people's power came out of hibernation and caused the reinstatement of the Chief Justice in the judiciary, how could a poor soul in Azad Kashmir, and that too if he happened to be a Muhajir, could endure the wrath of the system and its agencies which have ruled the area more viciously than ever heard of in the times of Maharaja? Political administration in Pakistan has a 5% say in the affairs of Kashmir, and the remainder 95% remains the reserve of the secret agencies. The broad spread of the members of these agencies on the ground is usually less educated, and they fail to reconcile the wisdom of their role in the area. As a start, the Pakistani agencies working on Kashmir are driven by an enduring instinct, as if AJK is inhabited by an army of agents working for their enemy. They fail to accept the locals as equal people for the right of self-determination. It is sad that they seem to be violating their role stipulated in Act 1974, in the discharge of its, Pakistan, responsibilities under the UNCIP resolutions. The government of Pakistan has approved the proposed repeal and reenactment of the said Azad Jammu and Kashmir Government Act 1970 inches. The Constitution Act 1974 has been authored by the government of Pakistan, and it does not have the popular character as we see in the J&K Constitution of 1956. A Kashmiri in AJK, or an Indian or any other person domiciled in Pakistan has a duty under Article 5 of the Constitution of Pakistan to be loyal to the state and obedient to constitution and law. It is ridiculous to suppose that there would be people in AJK working to propagate against or take part in activities prejudicial or detrimental to the ideology of the state's accession to Pakistan. There is no such ideology in the Constitution of Pakistan or in law. Pakistani political behavior and the behavior of its agencies working in AJK is to be guided by Article 257 of the Constitution of Pakistan and UNCIP resolutions in the affairs of Kashmir. The constitutional provision in Article 4(7)(2) of 1974 Act is against the basic human right to participate in free elections and the right as equal people for the right of self-determination. It makes AJK government a non-representative government and could not be regarded to be correctly discharging its duties under UNCIP resolutions. Government of Pakistan and its agencies are continually violating the constitutional pledge jointly made by AJK government and Pakistan to provide for the better government and administration of Azad Jammu and Kashmir until such time as the status of Jammu and Kashmir is determined, in accordance with the freely expressed will of the people of the state through the democratic method of free and fair plebiscite under the auspices of the United Nations as envisaged in the UNCIP resolutions adopted from time to time. The coercion and abuse by the agencies has gradually eroded the Kashmiri character of the local politics. The vote does not count at the end of the day. Kashmiri political parties like Liberation League, Plebiscite Front and many others have been forced to wrap up lock, stock and barrel. It suits the agencies to see non-Kashmiri political parties like MQM, PML, PPP and other parties to take roots in the disputed territory of Kashmir. All is not well in AJK. It needs a health check. Author is London-based Secretary-General of JKCHR, NGO in special consultative status with the United Nations and can be mailed at dr-nazir@jkchr.com.